Episode number 166 of Making the Case. If someone does this, they probably not over their ex. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Making the Case. I'm your host, Dr. Jacob Isom. You know, over here, we got two channel norms. One, we don't attack points. Now, people, excuse me. Then two, we don't do all that cussing derogatory stuff. We like to keep it professional over here. Okay. Now, I got another great episode. I'm sorry. I'm smiling because I'm about to have some fun in the sun. Okay. So I'm kind of getting a little excited. Okay. You have to forgive me. All right. I'll tell you all about it when I get back. It won't mess my schedule up too much as far as posting. So, that's why we posting the episode now. Got to get it in now because, time to enjoy myself. Okay. Your boy birthday coming up. All right. Now, so now that that's all out the way, let's get back into the episode. We're talking about if someone does this how you know they're probably not over their ex. Now, we've all experienced breakups and rebounds and things of that nature, right? So that's nothing new to anybody. But when it comes to getting over somebody, but you're already with a new person, that's when it can become a little bit tricky, right? Because you're supposed to already be over a person before you get with somebody else. You see how this works? But there's some signs, there's some telltale signs, things you want to look for if you're a partner. You may suspect that your partner is not over their ex. A couple of things I will say, because I don't want to spoil it for the video, because I imagine, once again, we're probably going to say some similar things. One, if somehow, some way, their name keeps coming up, right? Or you could be at a certain spot and be like, man, I remember. Now, if somebody actually verbalized that, that's crazy, but I imagine it happens, right? Or if someone kind of, seemed a little emotionally distant, right? They can still be harboring effects from their previous relationship. You just never know. So those are just a couple of things that I would say of kind of some telltale signs or some things you want to be warned about. Of course, this is not an all-inclusive list for the video that I have for you. So we're just going over 6 signs, right? But there's many more. So without further ado, I'm not going to spoil it for you. We're going to go ahead and get into the video and let's do it.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Antonio Borello. In this video, I'm going to tell you about 6 warning signs that you're still hung up on your ex and you really shouldn't be dating anyone new. Don't go anywhere. So I'm sure you've heard the phrase, if you want to get over someone, you've got to get under someone new. Yeah, that's a bad idea. While dating again can be exciting and offer some temporary distraction from your grief, beginning too soon may set yourself up for more disappointment. And too many disappointing experiences will cause you to doubt the possibility of finding viable and better alternatives, and it'll keep you stuck on your last relationship. That's why it's critical to know when it's too early to think about someone new. Having said that, here are 6 signs that you should put the brakes on dating. Number 1, when you're still communicating, negotiating, and denying. The end of a relationship means that 2 people who shared so much together must now untangle and separate so many parts of their lives. As you might expect, it's almost impossible for this to happen without a transitional period. Often you have property to be exchanged and moved, as well as other loose ends needing to be tied up. These issues will require communicating with your ex-partner to accomplish the task of separating. Sometimes these communications include negotiating and reevaluation to confirm that a separation is what you both want. This is also the time that couples make another attempt at making a relationship work. If you're in this denial stage and still consider getting back with your ex-partner, dating a new person isn't something you should be doing. Number 2, when you're ruminating about your ex. Psychologists define ruminating as passive and repeated focusing and thinking about a situation, its causes and its consequences. Ruminating is finding yourself caught in a loop, replaying memories and past conversations, or fantasizing about
What did I just say? What did I just say? Once again, I will repeat. These are blind reviews. I do not watch the videos, okay? Before I show you guys and before we get into it, right? If a person is constantly thinking about a person, or like past memories keep coming up, that is a telltale sign. Just saying. Let's go.
what you might say to your ex if you haven't recovered enough to consider dating. Number 3, when you still feel anger and guilt. Anger is the second stage after denial in the grief and loss process. We experience anger or guilt after our denial of the loss wanes and the pain of the breakup reemerges. For most people, anger is directed at their ex-partner or at the circumstances that led to the breakup. For example, if your relationship ended because of infidelity, you might be angry with your ex-partner for cheating and angry with the other person for being a homewrecker. Or if you were in a relationship with, let's say, an abusive person, you might be angry with yourself for getting involved in the first place.
Before he goes on to the next one, that's kind of what I was saying with the second point I was making. Like, someone still being very upset about the breakup. You really don't want to move into a new situation when you just harboring that much anger, right? Because somebody is going to say something to upset you and piss you off. So it's best to, kind of let those feelings dissolve and, work them out, even if you got to go to therapy, whatever you need to do. Okay, find you a new release, whatever it is. But before you move on to somebody else that might trigger you, you want to handle those feelings before you get back out there. Let's go.
On the other side of anger, newly single people experience a tremendous amount of guilt and blame for the relationship ending. This is true for those partners who are guilty of engaging in outside affairs, of cheating, or of emotional and physical abuse. Knowing that they are most at fault for the relationship ending, they may frantically attempt to undo the damage or make up for what they have done and recover the relationship. When their efforts are rebuffed, they experience the most trouble recovering from the loss. If this sounds like you, avoid single events for a while. Number 4, when you're hunting and haunting. When a formal couple gets past the negotiation stage and all communication has stopped, many single people find that they are engaging in what I call hunting and haunting. Hunting involves going places where there is a high probability of running into your ex-partner. This might include like restaurants and bars and nightclubs that you otherwise wouldn't be going to. They're not part of your stomping grounds. But in doing so, the hunter fantasizes that their ex-partner will have a sudden and dramatic change of heart after their coincidental meeting. But the coincidental meeting is awkward at best and might even look desperate. Haunting refers to stalking behaviors like driving by the ex-partner's home or monitoring their social media sites, hoping to see that nothing in their life has changed. Haunting and hunting is detrimental to your recovery for
I
several.
would say that he got it right with that. I wouldn't call it haunting and hunting. I would just call it being a stalker, because that's what he explained, right? Why would you be doing that's not normal? That's not something that you should be doing, right? In order trying to get over somebody. Is trying to see them, like, and they not know about it. It's a little creepy. Let's finish up.
Reasons. First, it requires you to spend a considerable amount of time and energy thinking about your ex-partner and what they might be doing. And when you find evidence that your ex-partner has moved on, you'll make unfavorable comparisons to your own life and ruminate about your loss. And too often, the information that you learn or you believe to be true is incomplete, and you become more curious. Again, the focus is on your ex instead of focusing on the things that you could be doing to speed up your recovery. Number 5, when you're dating out of desperation. Look,
All right,
rebounding can help
I'm gonna
take the
stop it right
focus
there. I
off your
think
ex-partner
that's
and provide.
enough. I think two of them I really enjoyed. So hopefully you don't get mad at me that I'm not going over the last one. I don't think you're that disciplined. But I would say that, if you're doing these behaviors that he mentioned in this video, it's more problematic than I think your normal getting over an ex, right? If you're talking about them all the time, if you're trying to stalk them and things of that nature, um, yeah, you probably want to seek help, to be honest with you. And all seriousness, because like that's not normal behavior, a lot of stuff he was talking about. Um, to me, what normal behavior getting over ex is being a little reclusive, right? Um, and it's kind of the opposite, not wanting to see them or not or blocking them and things of that nature. Really, I think that's more normative than being a stalker, right? We're gonna end the video right there. Hey, let me know what you think, man. Are you seeing these signs? Have you seen these signs? Hey, let me know in the comment. Of course, always like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay. But as always, I'm you, you and me. Love always, love return. Remember, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And we out. Deuces. One love.